Games new to me. Please like and subscribe.
Hey guys, Rob here for Games New to Me. Welcome back, and I'm so glad to have you. Thank you for spending the next few minutes with me. So let's talk about the elephant in the room, shall we? And by that, I mean let's talk about HDMI cables. There is lots of confusing information out there, and I hope to cut through some of this and give you guys some guidelines that will make your experience with your new PS4 Pro and other 4K UHD video devices the best that they possibly can be. It's been enough years since HD 1080p had become the standard that everyone now knows and loves that HDMI cables are just the way you hook up equipment these days. You don't even give it a second thought. The most common HDMI cables floating around out there, one may have come with your Blu-ray player, and that's the HDMI 1.4. Let's just knock out the first and foremost question on your mind. Yes, you do need a premium PlayStation 4 Pro compatible cable if you plan to get the most out of your PS4 Pro. But let me explain by going over some of the specifications of the two types of HDMI cables, so hopefully you can make an informed decision when you order a cable online or buy it in a retail store. So first, let's look at the HDMI 1.4 cable and what it's capable of. Firstly, we have audio return. HDMI 1.4 has an audio channel that will reduce the number of cables required to deliver audio upstream from a TV to an AV receiver for processing and playback. In cases where a TV features an internet content source, such as a built-in tuner or DVD player, the audio return channel allows the TV to send audio data upstream to the AV receiver via the HDMI cable, eliminating the need for an extra cable. The HDMI 1.4 also does 3D. The HDMI 1.4 version of the specification defines common 3D formats and resolutions for HDMI-enabled devices, enabling 3D gaming and other 3D video applications. The specification standardizes the input-output portion of the home 3D system, facilitating 3D resolutions up to dual-stream 1080p. Guess what? The HDMI 1.4 does 4K resolution. Did you know that? That's right. The new specification enables HDMI devices to support extremely high resolutions, effectively 4 times the resolution of the 1080p device. Support for 4K allows the HDMI interface to transmit digital content at the same resolution as the state-of-the-art digital cinema systems used in many movie theaters. Expanded support for color spaces. HDMI now supports color space designed specifically for digital still cameras, enabling more accurate color rendering when viewing digital photos. By supporting SYCC601, Adobe RGB, and Adobe YCC601, HDMI display devices are capable of displaying more accurate lifelike colors when connected to a digital camera. There is more info regarding the use of HDMI 1.4 in automotive applications and other such things, but that's not what this video is about, so I'm just going to let you know that all that stuff exists for automotive applications and leave it at that. Wait, what? Oh, you noticed that too, huh? That part about HDMI 1.4 being fully capable of 4K video output. It's true. The HDMI 1.4, also known as your standard run-of-the-mill HDMI cable, is in fact capable of transmitting 4K video from whatever device you're using to watch movies to your 4K TV or monitor. Yes, I hear your follow-up question already. I can read your minds. You want to know why you should run out and buy a premium PS4 Pro compliant HDMI 2.0 cable if I just told you that the HDMI 1.2 cable is capable of delivering 4K graphics. I mean, isn't that all that counts? Okay, let's break this down to its simplest form before I go into detail about the specs on the HDMI 2.0 cable. While it is true that you can play a 4K signal to your TV from a 4K source and enjoy your movie just fine, you have to keep one thing in mind. You're watching a movie or a TV show, and that in itself is significant because movies and TV shows, I'm lumping Netflix and everything non-Hollywood into the term TV show here, are filmed at a steady frame rate. That's a big part of it right there. The standard 24, 29, or 30 frames per second that you're seeing when you're watching regular 4K media. That's not the case when you start dealing with computer outputs or the PS4 Pro or even the Xbox One S and eventually the Xbox Scorpio. You see, those are gaming devices and they don't stick to the traditional 24 frames per second frame rate. In fact, the higher frame rate, the happier the gamers tend to be. So, with these devices, you are moving a hell of a lot more information from the computer, PS4 Pro, Xbox One S, Xbox Scorpio, what have you, and the HDMI cable you've come to love isn't capable of that kind of bandwidth. That's just the simple truth of it. It's possible that some are. I don't know the individual specifications of every single HDMI cord that comes with every single component out there. Having said that, the rule of thumb is that you want to upgrade to HDMI 2.0 because it is designed to handle that much higher demands that you'd have from your gaming experience. There's a lot more to it than just that though. With the Sony PS4 Pro, you're already dealing with 4K UHD, which means not only higher frame rates or fluctuating frame rates as the case may be, it also means, for lack of a better term, an expanded color palette. The PS4 Pro touts all the graphical improvements beyond the standard 4K picture. It touts its more detailed shading, colors, depth of field, and tons of other things that essentially mean one thing. And that one thing is the PS4 Pro and devices like it are pushing a ton more information than your standard 4K Blu-ray player is. I think it's becoming very clear why you need the latest version of an HDMI cable. Think of the regular HDMI cable you've got lying around in your closet or hooked up to your current devices as a garden hose, okay? Yes, a garden hose will put out a fire, but if you're dealing with a raging inferno, you want the fire department to show up and you want them to be using their much thicker fire hoses to put out the inferno. HDMI 2.0 and HDMI 2.1 are, in essence, best compared to the much thicker hoses that the fire department is using on your blazing home. Yes, you could use your garden hose, but would you really want them to when something far superior is available and at hand? So what specifically is HDMI 2.0 capable of? Let me read you a blurb from CNET.com. HDMI 2.0 can cram more bits down a high-speed HDMI cable, 18 gigabits per second rather than 10 gigabits per second for HDMI 1.4. That means it supports 4K video signals up to 60 frames per second, the HDMI forum announced at the IFA Consumer Electronics Show in Berlin. The greater data transfer rate also means that HDMI 2.0 can carry dual video streams that can be shown simultaneously on the same screen, and it supports up to 32 audio channels. But fear not, if HDMI 2.0 is old hat to ya, well guess what? HDMI 2.1 is already here, but we'll leave that for another video as your PS4 Pro currently only needs the HDMI 2.0. Anyway, guys, I hope that helps sort things out for you a bit, but if it doesn't, let me pose this question to you. You just spent $400 on a PS4 Pro. Why wouldn't you spend the $20 or $30 more for a quality HDMI cable to go with it? I presume you've already got a pretty sweet new 4K Ultra HD television. Just saying, it seems kinda odd to want to skimp out on the cable. Thanks for watching, I appreciate it greatly. To my dear subscribers, I love you guys. Thank you for making this channel what it is, and I am entirely in your debt. If you're new to this channel, just stumbled across this video or me, won't you please click that candy apple red subscribe button and give me a chance to win you over full time? You'll be helping to grow a fantastic community. You'll definitely have my sincerest gratitude. And probably most importantly, you'll always be notified whenever a new video goes up on the channel. This is Rob for Games New to Me saying, yeah, just go and buy the right cable for the job. You'll be glad you did, and they aren't expensive. Until next time, guys, be good to each other, and I'll catch you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.